disagree slightly with your comment on the NHS editing. Because their job, of course, is to provide up-to-date health information. And we do know from other sources that this is a highly, highly contagious virus. So, of course, it needs to update its information accordingly. I think you're right. It's right to be overcautious because look what happened last time. And the fact is that this is the first time monkeypox has left Africa. So it's right that we are a little bit vigilant and concerned, surely.
Go on, Dominic. I can see you retching to get
Yeah, but, is it not odd that the prevailing consensus before with regards to monkeypox was that it was exceptionally rare for it to spread from person to person because you usually catch it from animals? So on the NHS website, it said verbatim that human-to-human transmission is unlikely because it's hard for it to spread that way, and then it removes it. And I understand that perhaps information needs to be updated in that regard, but as far as we're aware, it's not that transmissible amongst humans.
Where the problem lies is, yes, they need to update the information, but it needs to be accurate in the first place. If we learn anything from the pandemic, it's inaccurate information makes people panic. And it also needs to be proportional as well. Monkeypox, apparently we've had 90 infections, and maybe there's a possible 200 more. We are a nation of 67+ million people. It's an infinitesimally small amount of infections we have. And what the NHS must not do is react to the press. The press has an entirely different agenda to the NHS.
Yeah.
The NHS job is to keep us safe. The press's job is to say sensational things.
But I haven't noticed this.
How could you possibly suggest such a thing?
I just haven't noticed this hysteria that you all mention. I haven't really been aware of much coverage.
There's an article that I read recently as well that was saying monkeypox is a lot more transmissible than first thought, scientists fear. And then when you actually read the article, not much information had actually changed. And that's sort of the same theme that we saw during COVID.
And let's be fair, I'm not talking about hysteria. What I'm talking about is what will lead to that hysteria. Monkeypox, in the way it's being spoken about now, would make no difference to anybody except it's in the shadow of the world pandemic. So anything that you talk about health-wise that is transmissible in any way could lead to panic. That's why you have to be accurate, you have to be proportional, and you have to talk about what's actually happening.
It does look pretty horrible, though.
Yeah, all I know is, though... Exactly, that's another thing, the extreme photographs that are being used when most of the time it's actually just a rash. It's not the massive boils that you see on people's skin.
It looks like chickenpox on steroids.
Yeah, all I know is that regardless of whether or not this becomes a massive pandemic, I am not locking down over monkeypox.
Well, this is the thing.
I'd rather walk around bald.
There's no plan to lock down over monkeypox. That's not going to happen.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Are there any situational circumstances now for you, Sean, where you would tolerate another kind of health-based lockdown, really, do you think, after what we've seen?
I would need an awful amount of proof, because I think the thing that we all need to look at now is what has been the impact of that. Yes, the financial impact is easy to measure. Eventually, we'll figure out who died because of what the lockdown forced on us. But the real thing is, if you travel on the tube, for instance, in London, nobody wears masks anymore, but you'll see the odd person who wears a mask.
It's a political choice.
No, but somebody said to me she doesn't want to wear the mask, but she's so fearful about her health. And what people who are calling for these things need to understand, it can terrorise people into a position where they think they can't live their life properly, and we need to think that through.
Yeah, and Amy, for me as well, I'm very, very, very wary of trying to whip up fear in case, in fact, that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do here now about this, because I do think the mental health impacts that we had, the impacts on children's education, for example, the financial impacts. I mean, Rishi Sunak is still lobbing cash out there left, right and centre now, in a way, for us because of all of this stuff, and I'm just not sure the British public will think that that's worth it again.
No, I think what you've said is important. However, I do think that we are going to have to face the reality of seeing more viruses like this starting to come over and spread as global warming increases and the climate crisis takes hold, because there's going to be an impact on biodiversity.
Because let's be clear, our health is not so directly linked.
Viruses.
Hold on, our health is not so directly linked to the weather. That's the first piece. But the real piece is this: we talk about health now differently than we did before the pandemic. So if someone's going to tell me we have more and more and more illnesses, they need to demonstrate it against a marker before we had the pandemic.
And also the fact that lockdowns have compromised people's immune systems, making them more susceptible susceptible to diseases that they otherwise wouldn't have been because they were locked inside their homes. That's something that nobody wants to talk about.
I think saying our health isn't linked to the weather is spoken like a man who's never seen me peel myself off a beach in the Costa del Sol after 17 hours of drunken unconsciousness on there. But there we go.
That might have been the beer.
I think it might have been. Yeah, no, I think you might be spot on there.